I met her on Tinder. I hate to admit it, but unfortunately, there's no time left for shame or honor now. I had just gone through a tough breakup, but didn't feel the need to drown my sorrows at a bar. Looking for relationships online meant I could stay at home in my shorts, living off beer and frozen pizza. And then she appeared. Dark hair, fiery, incredible eyes, a big smile. Her username was Arania, and she was a bright, attractive beacon in a sea of mediocre women. Her profile, however, was a bit messy. It looked like it had been hastily filled out without much information. The only thing it stated was that she was interested in sex. Right, and this is the only way I can distract myself from what's going to happen to me. So forgive me if I ramble. Even though I liked her profile, I didn't feel the urge to reach out. If it wasn't a fake, then she probably already had a flood of messages from desperate guys. I'm not a bad-looking guy, but this whole online dating thing felt like just another path to sadness. Besides, she seemed out of my league. I kept wondering why someone like her would need a dating app. Then she messaged me. "Hey there, you seem different from the other guys. Wanna meet up?" Really? That easy? A small seed of doubt started to grow in my mind. Then I looked around at the overflowing ashtrays and the whiskey bottles littering my room. I scratched my 2-week-old beard and screw it. I had to meet her. We met at a bar. It would make this story more dramatic if it were a shady dive. But it wasn't. Nor was it a fancy place. Just a regular bar that suited us both. Not that it mattered. Even if we'd met in a sewer, I would have been completely captivated by her. As soon as she walked in, every guy in the bar turned to look at her. And I'm not exaggerating. Every guy turned to stare. And they kept their eyes on her as she walked toward me and kissed me on the cheek. In that moment, I felt like the coolest guy in the world. I can hear sirens now. Could it be? They drove past. I'm not sure how much time has passed, but I'm certain they've already noticed my disappearance. So there she was. Tall. A short black dress. Eyeliner framing almond-shaped eyes that made her face look even wilder. That big smile, showing perfect teeth. And her scent. It was intoxicating. I've never met anyone with such a mesmerizing perfume. Every time she moved to gesture while talking or to reach for her glass, her incredible fragrance wafted over me, driving me insane. We talked for nearly an hour. She was a great conversationalist, but there was something off about her. She didn't seem interested in basic topics like music or movies. She quickly steered away from those. Instead, she seemed extremely curious about my past relationships and my history with women. I told her funny stories about awkward moments I'd had with past partners, and she laughed while continuing to press me with more questions. I'd never talked so much about sex on a first date, and she clung to every word. We ended up at her place that same night. I offered to take her out to dinner, but she said we could order in. Knowing exactly what she had in mind, I quickly paid for our drinks, and we grabbed the first cab we could find. The moment we got into the taxi, she was all over me. If she hadn't been all over me, I might have noticed the address she gave the driver. If she hadn't been kissing me the whole way, I might know where the hell I am now. But she's very clever. As soon as we arrived and entered her apartment, still passionately making out from the cab to the front door, she offered me a drink. The apartment was almost empty, with all the windows shut, and barely any furniture. No pictures on the walls. I barely paid attention to any of it, though. All my focus was on her. The drink she gave me was refreshing. It was like a sidecar, bitter and spicy, but delicious at the same time. Then she jumped on me again. She pushed me onto the couch, one of the few pieces of furniture she had, and before I knew it, we were tearing each other's clothes off. I won't go into detail because I don't want my last account to turn into some adult story. Her perfume awakened every primal desire in me. It was heaven. Until the room started to spin. Until our movements started to send me into some kind of twisted euphoria. She was on top of me, pinning me down. I couldn't move. And then, the flashes started. Her perfect body distorted for milliseconds. Multiple black eyes. Multiple thin legs. At times, her body looked segmented. And her scent, so pleasant at first, turned rancid. like flies rotting for weeks on a windowsill. Her nails dug into my chest, and they started to hurt, but she kept me pinned down with a cruel determination. The flashes came more frequently. She kept changing before my eyes. Legs, eyes, mandibles, teeth. It was horrifying. I wanted to cry, to run, but she had me trapped. And then I gave up fighting. As she reached her climax, she began to laugh. A horrible, triumphant laugh, while I sobbed beneath her. But suddenly, the laugh turned into a growl, a disappointed, guttural growl. She screamed. That scream, terrible, animalistic, otherworldly. I still shudder remembering it. She looked at me with fury in her eyes and began to beat me. She punched me. I think she broke my nose. She kept hitting, biting, and scratching me until I passed out. I woke up in this room full of bones, this windowless room with strange, dried things that look like eggs. They seem like eggs with holes, as if something had hatched from them. I can hear her sniffing outside. Once or twice a day, she comes in to bring me a sandwich and some water. Sometimes she sits with me, stroking my hair and humming a terrible sound that seems to kill me a little more inside. I think I know what she wants from me. I think I know why she's keeping me alive. I must have been here for nearly a month now. I think it's almost time for her to try again. I wonder how long it will take her to figure out I'm sterile. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.